See you tomorrow. All right, we're going to LA. Tyler, yeah, let's roll. We just landed in LAX. We're in Santa Monica, just grabbed a quick lunch. We're gonna go hang out with our buddy and mega producer, Greg Wells, who's got a couple awesome guitars that we're gonna be bringing home to Seattle. Damn, and that's a goal. That puts ours to shame, man. It's so awesome. Dude, that is incredible. They lost the gong. Dude, that is so cool.
You can never see what's around the corner, right? I remember being in this in San Francisco in this tea shop, and I got this little fortune that said the only thing permanent is impermanence. Like that keeps popping into my mind. So my house and my mix studio burned down, as did so many others in LA. Like 11,000 houses, I think, maybe more, burned down. Completely nuts. And obviously we didn't know that was gonna happen. So I took on this studio, a second studio. This used to belong to Butch Walker. He built this place. And it felt like such an indulgence, like a rock star. So like, really, I don't need a second recording studio. It's enough of a rock star thing to have one, you know, of your own. But I'm so glad I did, because I had moved 98% of my instruments to this place. And the other studio that I don't have anymore was purely a mixing facility. So all that stuff's gone. But like, I lost a couple guitars, but other than that, the other like 50 are here. All my drums are here, my Steinway piano is here, my microphones are here. So thank you, Butch, and thank you to this studio. And so this room that we're in now was originally the lounge in Butch's studio. And it was an amazing lounge. There was a big movie screen there on the wall. There was a big kitchen island here. There was a big, pretty sure it was a bison head on the wall. Some animal with massive horns, must have been a bison, buffalo, and then a barber chair and pinball games. And I needed to turn this into a mix room, because I'm a weirdo and I play a bunch of different instruments that are all in that room and there, but I also mix. So slowly, you know, putting up sound panels and dialing in these speakers and this whole thing, one foot in front of the other. And I'm always moving instruments around, and meeting you has really been like, I mean, these are some of the finest instruments I've ever put my hands on, regardless if I own them or not. And you're right, it is like this sort of like jet stream flow of like these things kind of come in, they go out, other things come in, every once in a while they come back again.
For a guy like you too, it's like you can hang on to it and get that inspiration that you need at that moment. And I would think in your position, which is so unique, letting things go and kind of like waiting for something, you know, it's like all these, like if you get a song out of it.
What you really bring to the table though is you're so picky with what you present. At least that's been my experience with you, that you'll present like a gorgeous kind of holy grail piece like this, but it plays like a new guitar. And you know, people wouldn't believe me when I would say how old it was.
Yeah.
No one could believe. Everyone's like, really? It even looks like a new guitar, you know?
Yeah.
And everything that I purchased from you over the years has had that vibe. So it's like, your quality control level is probably higher than you even realize.
Well, I so appreciate it, man. Would you mind? We were just hanging in this room, and we're in heaven right now.
So this might be my favorite room on earth. The room really took a hit when I recently bought 4 timpani drums from an amazing percussionist here named Brian Kilgore.
There's just like little critter paths, you know, it's just gear explosion in here, and exactly what you want to see. Fawn half stack, we're looking at. This is a weird one, like a little guitar he was just showing me, built out of a cassette machine.
There's a kid in the UK who makes guitars out of old cassette machines. Yeah, there's some fun guitars. That's a Stephen McSwain guitar there with pictures of my kids all over it that my wife got for my 50th birthday. It was an amazing surprise birthday present, and it's an excellent guitar too. Careful back in here. That's my favorite grand piano. These drums are A and F drums, and they're made in outside of Austin, and they're kind of based on the old Slingerland Radio King drums, which are old big band drums, like Gene Krupa vibes. Matt Chamberlain, the incredible musician, drummer, Matt Chamberlain, and he's the one that told me about the Radio King drums. There's a few people, like whatever they hit, Brian Rave, he says anything about guitars. I'm like, what? I'm gonna, yeah, okay. Matt Chamberlain, anything on drums, same thing. Eric Valentine says anything about sound or mixing or sonics or frankly anything. I'm just like, yep, okay, what's that? So I checked them out, and I work with the company now, and we've actually designed a snare drum together, kind of based on the old Tama bell brass snare. Wow. They're phenomenal drums, and they just record, as do the old Radio King drums. The microphones love them. This is a brass kit. It's made of brass. Everything is brass, which you would think would sound maybe kind of clangy and harsh, and it does the opposite. It's like a bell. It's like this very focused tone. I love it. Wow. These are the drums on the new Wicked soundtracks. You know, Defying Gravity, any song from Wicked, which is pretty drum forward because I mixed it. It's these guys. The thin line telly up there in the corner, early 70s, I think it's 71, has an F hole in it. My dad was a preacher in the church in Canada, and one of the congregation members was this lovely man named John Crawford, and he was a public school teacher, but he also sang and played guitar. And he could tell that I really had the bug for music, possibly even more than my parents could. And he would just, I wasn't that old, I think I was maybe like 8, 9, 10. And he would just come up to me after services and just say, take this guitar, just take it home. You know, I'm gonna lend it to you. Just teach yourself how to play guitar. So I learned how to play guitar on that guitar. And I really, you know, just thought the world of him. I still do. And several years ago, I thought, I should reach out to him and see if he still, I wonder if he still plays it or if he still had, maybe he sold it. And he said, you know what, it's, I don't play it. It's either, I think he said it's in a closet somewhere. And so we worked out a deal where I paid him well for it. And it's really nice to be able to look at it.
Such a great first stop on this trip. And again, you've been so groovy. I so appreciate you, man, and trusting us back with a few guitars. We're getting a cool JAZZMASTer, an awesome Firebird, and 2 that I'm very familiar with. So, so appreciate it, man. Look forward to coming down and hanging some more, all right?
It is the, you know, one of many conversations we will have that haven't had yet.
Man. I'm sure a couple will come back to you too, all right? All right, we've been in LA for about an hour, hung out with our buddy Greg Wells. What a fantastic guy. Really appreciated making time today. Got a couple guitars that we sold him a while ago, and he kind of broke down why they're coming back to us. And kind of bittersweet, but guitars come and go. We're excited to have them. And a few that I haven't seen in person before, only on pictures and on his wall. 1959 Fender JAZZMASTer. It's the kind of the flagship year. First year was 58, but 59 is when they're full steam ahead and just kind of the ideal JAZZMASTER. Slab board, nothing like them. That's a very important year for that guitar. This is awesome. Super surprised by this. It's between 66, maybe 68, Firebird and Cardinal Red, but I was just sitting with this guitar, man. It plays so good as is, has the original frets on it that are, you know, kind of worn but even, and the flatter jumbos, and it's just a cool, slinky guitar. It's fun to play. I was just jamming on it, waiting for these guys to come up, but killer finish. The checking is amazing. We're excited to dive into this. The other guitar is actually our buddy Blake's that we're gonna be delivering tomorrow, but might as well show it to you guys. It's a Washburn Tonk Brothers 5257. Somehow we've become the guys for these. We love them, we always have. We've laced up a couple really great musicians with this exact model, and man, I think Blake has the best one. It's really special. So we just did our little spot treatment in Seattle for him. Every once in a while he pops guitars up there so we can set it up and bring it back to his studio, and you'll see his whole spread tomorrow. He's an amazing guy, super talent. So we get to hang out with this guy for another 24 hours. Tyler, show the acoustics we just got, man.
Yeah, so both of these are from Greg, and they're both really special, but I think this is my favorite. This is a late 1944 Gibson J45, and this particular one is really special to me because not only is it one of the very rare late war maple back inside J45s, but the FON is 2875, which just happens to be the same FON as my personal 44 J45 with the maple back and sides. And this one is exactly the opposite of mine. It is completely untouched. Mine's totally worked over, but they both sound great. And this one is just a fantastic example.
I gotta pause you there. There's another cool side note to this. We got that from the original owner's family, and that is just kind of unheard of with Gibsons for whatever reason. They're just, that era banner logo, they just got traded and pawn shops and beat up and neglected. It was honestly like the coolest one I think I've ever seen. And sad to see Greg decide to go, you know, let it go, but excited to have it back, and something will come back to him.
All right, and then from the other side of the aisle, we have this wonderful 1939 Martin D18. Now, as you can see, this is in wonderful shape. It's had all the work that it needs, fresh neck set, plenty of saddle, and the thing just sounds amazing. And one really, really cool thing about this is that, I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, but this has the tortoiseshell headstock veneer that you'll see very uncommonly in the mid to late 30s on some of the 18s and 17s from Martin. A very subtle thing. This is pretty dark tort, but once you notice it, it's just
such a flex, man.
I know, it's such a cool little detail. And this is just a beautiful, beautiful guitar. The 18s, especially D18s, they got hammered on, played hard, worked on hard, and not a lot of them are in this good a shape. So really happy to have both of these.
These guitars are like bonuses. We came down here specifically to go grab these two pieces. When I sold them, it was with love to Greg. I really wanted to get him two special pieces. I knew that he was gonna be using them in the studio, and I was so thrilled to get the call back. And I understand sometimes you don't get that call back, but he was cool enough to do it. He knew that I put a lot of thought into these two special instruments. They deserve a great life, so excited to see where they go next.
All right, so it's day 2, Friday morning here. Trevor had to run out to Brian Ray's house to pick up some more guitars for us to check out. But for now, we're chilling at the hotel, and we're gonna go through the 2 electric guitars that we got from Greg yesterday so we can figure out what's going on, get him paid, and move on to the next batch. So this first one we're looking at is a 1959 JAZZMASTER. As you can see, the gold guard, very cool. And we also have a mid-60s Firebird in allegedly factory Cardinal Red, but we're gonna figure that out too.
right, I'm back. How are we looking, man?
Really good, man. The JAZZMASTER looked great. Its body day was October of 58, neck date was January of 59, so kind of still an early one, factory gold guard, really clean, solder joints untouched, so really happy with that one. And then this Firebird's really cool too. I think it's the factory finish, not much done to it. There was something kind of funny under the guard in the cavity. As you can see, this is a Firebird 5 with the 2 pickups and the vibrola, but it's routed as a 7, so for a third pickup, and then has a few 7s stamped into the wood as well, like under the guard. So I don't know.
Tensions of at the factory, then switched around.
Yeah, they might have started as a 7, decided to do a 5, and but the finish looks great. It all looks really straight.
Cool,
this
man.
one plays great too. Cool guitar.
Well, I just got back from our buddy Brian Ray's, hanging out with him. What a lovely guy. Looking at some cool guitars and just chatting about all things. And now we're gonna head over to Blake Slatkin's. Literally think he was called Producer of the Year last year, but he is such a lovely guy, a good friend of mine. And we did a little setup on a Tonk Brothers Washburn that he has. And Tyler brought his toolkit. One of the house calls that we're doing is just tweaking a couple studio guitars that he has. And I think he's grabbing lunch. So yeah, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. I said it before, one of my favorite people that lives in Los Angeles, a living sunflower, Blake Slatkin, who is like mega producer, mega person. I love you, dude. We've had a lot of fun with some cool guitars, 3 of which I am so proud and honored to have found for you. The first one we talked about a little bit. This is one of my favorite all-time models ever. It's a Tonk Brothers Washburn 5257, one of the coolest instruments ever. But they're tempestuous. They need a little love here and there. So he sends it up and he has Tyler do a little magic tweak, and we just compared that to a D18 and it gave it a run for its money. So it's back with its rightful owner.
Perfect guitar.
This one, come on now, PAF loaded 335. That has a fun story. We were kind of just like trying to nail like what the ultimate PAF guitar, and if there is one that you need. And it was cool seeing it on stage not too long with what, John and was it Ed or that dude, insane. Then I'll let you tell them about this, man. This one.
Kind of our deal, my deal with Trevor is I tell him that I'm looking for something and I tell him that I'm the most patient person. I think I told you 2 years ago that I've always wanted the perfect 62, 63 or 64 Strat. And this one, finally Trevor called me and he was like, man, I promise you, this is the fucking one. This is the Strat to end all Strats, and I picked it up, and the second I picked it up, it was like, that's gotta be in the family forever. So I'm so grateful for this one. It's like, it's a perfect guitar, and I've always been a Strat guy my whole life.
Yeah.
This is like,
dude, you're a great player too, man.
you.
You're like, I don't care about, it doesn't need to be a collector's piece. Like
No,
we
I
tried
never
some
care about that.
refins,
Never
and
care.
it was like, yeah, it's great, but like you might as well make this spring, and there's something about kind of an unmessed with.
yeah, well, I couldn't care about condition or I don't really even care what it is. I don't care. This was a 75 Strat and it was the best Strat ever. I don't give a shit. Like I think the collector stuff is cool. It's fun to like have like a 64 or a PAF guitar. I'm really just like, I just want the best guitar. Because I put these on records and you can hear the difference. And I play this against any other Strat and it's just like it's not just like guitar heads who can hear the difference. Like anyone can like really be like, oh shit, that one's got magic. And this one just has magic. So I'm so grateful. All of these do. That I told you I wanted a perfect PAF guitar for a while. We waited a bunch of months and finally you called me. And honestly, now when I get a call from Trevor Boone on my phone, before I pick it up, I go, oh no, because I know whenever you call me, I'm spending money. But it's worth it. It's worth it because I always pick up and it's like, dude, I've got something. It's the fucking sickest thing. You got it. I don't even say anything. I'm sending it down. And I'm like, okay, send it down. And then I touch it and I'm like, all right, yeah, I can't I mean, I can't let this leave my house.
It takes some pressure off me because I just get to send it down and let him try it out. And I'll get a firm yes or no, and he's putting it to the test, like I said. In fact, he's doing a session right now, so I need to let you get back to work, dude. But I love you so much, man. All right, we overnighted 4 boxes to the hotel. They were a day late, but luckily they showed up, so we're gonna have a little pack party, throw 4 guitars in boxes and get them home safely. And that leaves a couple empty hands in case we pick up some scraps along the way. But yeah, we're gonna get to it. Start with the JAZZMASTER. All right, Tyler and I just finished the hotel power pack, 4 guitars ready to go, 3 of which are going back to the shop, and 1 got scooped up, so it's heading to Hawaii. So congrats to the customer on the quick draw. And we're looking for something to eat. Turns out Blake Slatkin's mom owns 2 restaurants, and I did not know that. And we're gonna go check out one of them. It's called the Wilkes in Brentwood. So we're gonna have a nice dinner and then head back to town tomorrow, and you'll see a lot more of these guitars.